Today's video is brought to you by
Hit it, Fergie. All the time I turn around, brothers gather round, always looking at me up and down, looking at my. I just wanna say it now, I ain't trying to round up drama, little mama, I don't wanna take it. And I know I'm coming off just a little bit conceited, and I keep on my feet, and her boys wanna eat it, but I'm trying to tell that I can't be treated like clientele, cause they say she delicious.
It's Zoe, and today I am going to be making a very exciting announcement. I am going to be co-hosting the one readathon to rule them all. Before I get into the actual announcement, the song from the last video was The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, and I think you all got that one right. It's a classic, one of my favorites. You can't not sing along to that one. I dare you. This readathon was created by Ashley from Don't Have a Degree in Reading, and this is the second year that it's been going, I believe. Yes. I wasn't on BookTube last year, so what the hell do I know? It starts on November 17th and runs until December 1st. Most of us were saying November 18th in our group chat, but it's November 17th. We're all doing great. This readathon is co-hosted by James from James Chatham, Shelby from Read and Find Out, Cass from What Cass Read, Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book, Chris from Chris Bookish Cauldron, and Brandy from Brandy's Books. I don't know if you can hear this wind, but it's a little bit ridiculous right now. I apologize for Mother Nature being a needy bitch. I can't help it, but she really is needy. Anyways, it's a fantasy readathon. There are a bunch of challenges where the main goal is to get the ring to Mordor. If you've been on my channel for a little bit, you know how deep my love for Lord of the Rings runs. It's up there. I think it could be tied with Harry Potter and Throne of Glass. Bold statement, I know, but I think I feel comfortable saying that. There are a bunch of different challenges. I put my phone down. That has everything. The rules for this readathon are quite simple.
The rules are, there ain't no rules.
You can double up, triple up, quadruple up on any challenges as long as you get the ring to Mordor. And it can be any form of fantasy. It can be epic fantasy, it can be urban fantasy, magical realism, whatever you want in whatever form you want. It can be a physical copy, an ebook, an audiobook, graphic novels, whatever you want, say it with me, as long as you get the ring to Mordor. You may be wondering, how do I get said ring to Mordor? Well, let me tell you. There are 4 routes that you can take to complete this journey, quest, thing. You see what I did there. The first one is Speedy Voyager. With this one, you are bypassing everywhere else and just hopping your way on to Mordor. The challenge to complete for this one is to read the conclusion to a fantasy series. This readathon is so lighthearted and easygoing because the books are usually so heavy that you can read the most recent release for a series or a standalone and count that as a conclusion. The second route is the Tourist Special. This one starts in the Shire, where you need to reread a favorite fantasy book. Then it heads on over to Rivendell, where you need to read a book with LGBTQIA+ rep, the author, the main character, the point of view, any sort of solid rep in there. And then finally, you head on to Mordor, where you read the conclusion to a series, or, like I said, the most recent release, or a standalone. Route number 3 is the Ultimate Backpacker. This one, you start in Bree, where you need to read a book set in a non-European influenced setting. Is that how I want to say that? Sure, you get the idea. And then you head over to the Mines of Moria, where you read a grimdark fantasy or a fantasy book with spooky elements. Next, you head on to Rohan, where you read a fantasy with a female main character. Then you head over to Minas Tirith.
I can't say that without rolling the R. I've learned something about myself today.
Where you just need to read a fantasy book. So yes, this one is going to be doubled up with at least one other challenge. And last but not least, you need to get to Mordor. I think you already know what the challenge for that one is. And route number 4 is the most customizable one. This one is the Nomadic Traveler. You can do 1 challenge, you could do 2, you could do all of them, as long as you get that ring to Mordor. There are some other challenges that weren't mentioned in the first 3, which are, in Fangorn Forest, you need to read a book with magical or supernatural creatures. The next one is in Lorien. You need to read a fantasy book published by an indie press, or anything not by the Big 5, which are Macmillan, HarperCollins, Penguin Random House, Simon & Schuster, and Hachette. The next one is Isengard. You need to read a book with a villain main character or point of view, morally ambiguous anti-hero, anybody whose moral compass doesn't point quite exactly due north. Next we have Helm's Deep. Read a fantasy that's a standalone. And Gondor. I don't think I said Gondor yet. Did I say Gondor?
You did not.
You need to read a fantasy book that reps people of color, so you can have the author, a main character, a point of view, anything that has some solid rep in there. And I think that was all of them. I will leave all of this down below so you can peruse at will, and there are some links down there if you're not quite sure what to read for some of the challenges. There are some helpful links that Ashley put together because she's a gem. Is there anything else you need to know? I believe that's it. If I forgot anything, I will leave that down in the description box with the million other things that need to go there. So I guess that's it for this announcement. Let me know down below in the comments if you are going to be participating in this readathon. As always, to stay updated with my current reads and how I'm feeling about them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads, all at Your Book Nerd Zoe, which I will leave linked down below in the description box. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and get at least a little bit of uninterrupted reading time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
4, 3, 2, 1. Listen up, y'all, cause this is it.